Hi, welcome back. My name is Swamp Rose, and if this is your first time on my channel, today I am continuing my true crime podcast, and I cover the Idaho4 or the case against Bryan Kohberger. And today I wanted to report on a story that we started talking about last night, and I actually since received a little bit more information on, so I wanted to report on that to you today. And it's actually kind of an interesting story. It's one of those things that we seem to be being fed a narrative or gaslit about the actual facts of this story. So I hope to bring a little bit of clarity today. And the topic is, bring this up, Bryan Kohberger's girlfriend. So did you know that it's been quite rumored that Bryan Kohberger had a girlfriend? Now, if you go on the internet and you research it, you will quickly find that there is absolutely no corroboration to this, but there are quite a few sightings with neighbors. And then there are some speculations as who this woman could be as well. So let's just break down what we know. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually talk about the dynamics of Bryan in terms of women, because there is something that we've been shown, which is there is a female paradox to what we've been told about Bryan and what is actually factually true about his life. So from very early on, we started getting fed this narrative that Bryan was something called an incel, which is somebody who's involuntary celibate. But they also have this type of personality, also has trouble interacting with women and are well known for not being able to approach women or have women approach them. And we've had several stories come out over the last months that seem to debunk that. One is the Moscow Murder podcast, who has had several people who were in that classroom with BK talk about the study groups and his interaction with females and other things that he said to males in the class that would indicate he definitely was interested in women and speaking to women. Another thing was that we've had quite a few accounts from two different neighbors that Bryan Kohberger was seen at a pool party, and he actually interacted with women, exchanged phone numbers with women, and they sounded like they were fairly attractive women as well, or outgoing. I just wanted to quickly say hi to the chat real quick. I really appreciate you showing up for this kind of last minute live stream. Hi, Mish Girl and Beth, JV, Salty Grace, Texas Ranger. I haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you're doing good. And Christy, my managing mod. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up I'm going to play you a soundbite, which kind of sparks this controversy. There's not a lot of sound bites out there talking about the woman that Bryan Kohberger was frequently seen with. But this particular soundbite, Mikey sent me, and he got it off of one story that has not been scrubbed from Reddit. And I'm assuming it's because it's from a foreign newspaper or foreign news outlet. Let me present my screen to you, and we'll play the soundbite. And then I'm going to show you some pictures that not only kind of debunk the incel theory, but they also will tell you why I believe the mainstream media started forming this narrative in the first place. They kind of, I believe, thought that they could nicely fit it into a motive theory, and I'll explain in a moment. So let me pull up this soundbite. By the way, I am having such beautiful weather here on Cape Cod today. I hope it is nice where you are too. Okay, so if you want to find this article for yourself, it is on itv.com.
But before all that, a special report on the brutal murders of 4 students at the University of Idaho.
I'm going to start right here.
Tall, athletic build as he walked past her to this back door. Police initially hunted for a white Hyundai spotted fleeing the murder scene at high speed. They finally found an identical car here belonging to postgraduate student Bryan Kohberger. I spoke to one of Kohberger's neighbours here at his university accommodation in Pullman. He didn't want to go on camera, but said he frequently saw Kohberger in the company of an Asian girl, often laughing and joking. On the night of the murder, he saw him right out here acting normally. Analysis of
And we're going to stop there. And so it is just that little soundbite right there that talks about the female that he was seen with. A lot of people have speculated on who this woman is. And I thought it was interesting how when the speculation happens, we frequently were hearing Asian woman. And it's not that I have any issue with the term Asian woman. It just seems odd to me. When I look at the students that are in the PhD program, you can clearly see Chinese descent and Korean descent. It takes no more than a Google search to know the ethnicity of each of these people. But yeah, we heard this blanket term Asian woman. And I did think that was really weird. Then I figured out why, I think. So there's this woman, and you can see a picture of her right here. And either her or her mother inserted themselves into the story quite early on. And she identifies, or she is an Asian woman, and she is from Pennsylvania. So KK contacted investigators after learning about Bryan Kohberger, her ex-classmate, being arrested. The two studied together at Pleasant Valley Intermediate School in 6th grade. It was revealed that Kohberger had developed a crush on her and attempted to pursue her. According to Kenley's mother, Bryan Kohberger was awkward misfit who endlessly tried to pursue Kim, and Kenley's mother told the news outlet. So this is the other woman. And I don't know if you're drawing the connection I am in the mainstream narrative, but it does look like they're trying to compare things that may not have any connection. Because when you talk about motive, they're trying to say that maybe Bryan had a preference or he was triggered. I don't know why they would have brought up this other woman from the 6th grade and inserted it into the conversation. Was the Asian woman Kohberger's crush? This article that was written about a year ago says, however, there's no valid information whether Kohberger was dating or seeing an Asian woman, but there are reports that he once had a crush on his classmate, Kim Keenley, who is also Asian, an occupational therapist. She resides in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she works at an assisted living facility. When they were 6th graders at Pleasant Valley Intermediate School in Pennsylvania, Kohberger developed feelings for Kenley. Kenley claims Kohberger started pursuing her romantically after she went on to become a high school cheerleader. And first and foremost, I think that's kind of awful that your missteps in high school can then become evidence against you later on in life. But I just find it odd that they made that connection between this woman in the same article and that woman from the 6th grade that Bryan Kohberger knew. So who was this woman that Bryan Kohberger was seen outside of his apartments with? A lot of people have guessed who this is. And I don't know if it's just identity politics or what, but people are assuming that it is one of the two females he shared an office with. Now, if you look at the roster of PhD students that went to WASU while Bryan was attending, you can see him right there in the left corner. And this list was, obviously I had to censor everything on it. I couldn't put people's names and contact information out there, but this list was brought to me by Too Fast, another one of my moderators. Hold on, we've got quite a few comments here. I know, that's what I'm saying, CB, but that's what the mainstream media is trying to make us think. Oh, hey, AR. Hey, Twiz. I know you guys were all here. Yeah, at least it won't be admissible in court. Let me show you guys something in the PCA. let me show you a couple things. No, not the PCA. Let me show you a couple things that are in the unredacted search warrant. And again, thank you to Too Fast for giving me a copy of this. Let me take down Twiz's comment here. Okay, so just a couple things I want to note on this unredacted search warrant. And right here is the first one. It's the date of the search warrant. So this is, there are several things they're searching for in this, and one of them is his office that he shared with 2 other women. The other thing that they're searching for on this is the other office building that he worked with. I'm assuming that's where the studies were done. So there were 2 buildings named in the search warrant. Look at the date though. I just want to make note that we are always having this argument, did BK lose his job before he left for his Christmas break or not? But if he did, why would they need to search his office on the 17th of January? Because he would have cleared out his apartment before he left. There's probably not an employer on earth who's going to fire you and then let you hang out in your office indefinitely until you get a chance to clean it out. So that's the first thing that really stood out to me, was right there, the date. Let's keep going. So if we look down here, it says these warrants were issued and served in Washington state because the suspect in the crimes resided and worked here during the time of the crimes. I'm not going to get into, there's a lot on here I wanted to talk about. There's some irony in the numbers I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the DNA a little bit, but I'm going to just stick with this subject. So just kind of ignore my notes on here. I did notice, well, no, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get down to his coworkers. This is like a really long search warrant, so just bear with me. Okay, so, oh, and that's more on the DNA. Hold on. I got really into this search warrant when I was reading it this morning. And of course, it's 97 pages. So. This is the one part of the live stream that's going to have dead air. All right, so I don't really want to dox these people's names, but he shared the office with 2 women, one with Chinese descent and one with South Korean descent. And I'm sorry, but I see zero connection or zero reason why people are narrowing down the person that he saw to one of his teaching assistants that he shared an office with. So if you go on and you read inside of this search warrant, you see that there was a piece of paper hung on the doorway with Bryan's name and these 2 women's names on there. And to say that that is the actual person is just something that nobody knows. So first off, that's just something people are making up. That's a narrative. But then just to go all the way and draw it back to a girl he dated in the 6th grade because they decided to, be inserted into the conversation is, I just feel that it's a false narrative that needs to be combated. So I just wanted to give this little live stream today and share my thoughts on this. And let me just make sure I didn't have anything else I wanted to bring up to you about this. I might have forgot something because I just kind of put this together last minute, but if I did, I will do a follow-up video to this one. And I just wanted to end the stream today by giving you a little tribute video that I made for the Idaho4. And I made this on the 1-year anniversary. I edited it out of the official memorial with my own sound effects. Let me share my screen with you. And then I'll be right back afterwards to wish you a good day.
Xana Kernodle. Ethan Chapin. Madison Mogan. Kaylee Gonzalez.
So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great day. I might be streaming later tonight. I have another little story I want to present to you, and justice for the Idaho4. And also happy birthday, Texas Ranger in Sirius. This is not